Hey, Lo-Riders, it's me, Lois. Happy Saturday. Today is an impromptu video. I was gonna do something different yesterday, but then after looking at everything on the internet in regards to Carlos King, I decided I'm gonna do a little series. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it's gonna be about because you know when you put stuff out, sometimes someone else will take your idea, like Carlos King, alleged and in my opinion with some actual and factual. Well, I was digging around on the Googler in regards to love and marriage Huntsville. And what I got from Google, I'm going to be reading from my computer, so please bear with me. And also remember, again, all commentary is alleged and in my opinion with some actual and factual, okay? So I wanted to know if Love and Marriage was canceled. Love and Marriage Huntsville was canceled, and it said yes. Carlos King ultimately canceled Love and Marriage Huntsville. The decision was made due to escalating toxicity and emotional toll on the cast, exacerbated by negative interactions with fans, according to a post on Facebook. While the show had been renewed for a new season on OWN, the show was ultimately canceled. Okay, so then I decided I was going to go ahead and do a deeper dive, into the AI mode, because, I'm nosy like that. I used to be a skip tracer when I was doing collections back in the day. So I know how to search for stuff online, okay? So the question is Love and Marriage canceled? And AI says it's complicated. While there's no official confirmation of cancellation, Facebook discussions suggest that Love and Marriage Huntsville might not be removed for a 10th season due to cast departures. Okay. So the first departure, and the reason Love and Marriage Huntsville is likely not renewed for season 10 is because of Melody Cherie's departure. That is a big proponent of it. Let's just be real clear about that. Melody Cherie is the show. Hands down, I don't care what no one says. Good, better, and different. If you don't like what I'm saying, okay, I'm okay with that. I can handle people not liking anything that I say because I'm an adult and I'm not going to get in my feelings about it. It says Melody Cherie's departure, a key cast member, announced she would not be returning after 9 seasons. Some sources indicate that her departure might be a significant factor in the show's potential end. I'm going to say actually and factually, yes, because what are we going to talk about? Because everybody's fighting everybody. Everybody's choking each other. I don't understand. It's like, how could the show continue without Melody? Because first of all, let's be real clear. We know the show was Melody Cherie's idea. And Carlos King decided he was going to say it was his idea. After he done told us, the entire world, that Melody came to him. Okay? And then when she came to him about the show, he said, yeah, we could do this show. But then Melody had decided, okay, I can't do the show because there's some things alleged, in my opinion, with some actual and factual going on in my marriage, and I'm not here for it. And Carlos Conda and said, look, it'll be great for you. You can get your story out there, boopity boppity bam, blippity bloppity blue. And now here we are. After all of that, what we saw was the taking apart of Melody Cherie. We saw her so-called friends, which we now know were all Martell's friends, but because Melody is the person that she is, she embraced them. They never embraced her. She embraced them, okay? And little by little, one by one, they decided, except Marceau, because he loved him some Melody Cherie, okay? They decided that Melody Cherie was the enemy in her own show, on her own show. Okay, they decided she was the enemy, and they thought, okay, we're gonna form a coup, and we're gonna go ahead and just push her out. Well, you pushed her out, and now where did that get you, buddy? Okay, and then the next one says other cast departures. Stormy Steele and Sonny Minks also reportedly left the show, potentially impacting its future. I'm in total agreement with that, because the storyline between Melody Cherie and Stormy Steele could have been great. It could have been great because you already had one entrepreneur. Melody Cherie was already in entrepreneurial mode when the show started. Bringing on Stormy was a great idea, but causing them to have a fallout was the dumbest move that OWN Network and Carlos King, alleged and in my opinion with some actual and factual, actually made. That was the dumbest decision. Why would you have these two women pitted against each other when, from my understanding, the purpose of the reality shows is for the cast members to showcase their brands and their business acumen, so to speak, and to build when they're on the reality show. And it seems like, to me, this is my personal opinion with some actual and factual, that Carlos King was jealous. He didn't want to see anybody succeed and do better than he was doing, okay? Without the struggle, okay? He didn't want to see anybody succeed. So he pitted the two most successful women on the show against each other, and in turn had the fans divided. Once you divide the fans of your show, it's not going to make it, baby. Okay. And then, of course, there's the social media buzz. Discussions on social media platforms suggest the show's future is uncertain and potentially canceled. Yeah, because just like y'all did with Love and Marriage, what was it, DC? Y'all had them sitting on the shelf for, 18 months? And Carlos King, alleged, in my opinion, with some actual and factual, ain't call them, ain't text them, ain't send a carrier pigeon, no snail mail or nothing to let them know what was going on. They ain't know what was going on till it went on. And that is very unprofessional. Okay? People end up quitting, just like with Kandi Burruss when she didn't know when what Love and Marriage Huntsville, not Love and Marriage Huntsville, Real Housewives of Atlanta was coming back on. She said, look, I got other stuff I got to do. I got to go. I'm ghost. I'm out. Okay? Alleged, and in my opinion, with some actual and factual. You can't be keeping people hanging on a dang ledge, okay? And then AI also says, however, OWN's continued investment. OWN has reportedly ordered more content within the Love and Marriage franchise, including new seasons of Love and Marriage Huntsville and potentially Love and Marriage Huntsville. Ain't no potential for Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's a wrap. And Detroit, I did try to like Detroit, but Detroit is like a slow leak. It's like it's just basically all drama for no reason. There's no lead into anything. We don't see anything. It's just everybody's just fighting for no reason or talking loud and saying nothing. I'm not digging what the concept is on the show, because nobody is trying to be great and there is no black excellence. Okay, so I don't understand the purpose of that show. Love and Marriage DC, I was digging on it. Ashley was actually one of my favorites. My first favorite, of course, everybody knows, is Winter Harris. I love me some Winter Harris, okay? But the one thing I knew when I watched Love and Marriage DC is that Winter and Ashley were going to end up being friends, because Winter was patient. She didn't feed into Ashley's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Her and Arena's bullshit. She didn't feed into it. She just said, okay, me and this girl just need to have a conversation without Arena sitting by, instigating, and we gonna be okay. And that's what happened. Okay, we don't even know what's up with them. He's doing the same thing with them, alleged, and in my opinion, with some actual and factual, that he did before. He has them sitting on a shelf. They don't know which way it's up at this moment. Okay, so if they don't know, and we don't know, and I'm feeling like he don't even know either, you know, what are we supposed to think? Is that canceled too? Okay. And then it also says there's no official announcement. There has been no definitive statement from OWN or the production company confirming the show's cancellation. However, word on the streets is that Carlos has been saying it's canceled, alleged, in my opinion, with some actual and factual. I don't know how true that is, but I'm confusion in regards to why one internet source is saying that the show is canceled, and then a deeper dive is saying it's possibly, potentially canceled. So I'm not understanding what's going on. And in conclusion, it says, while the future of Love and Marriage Huntsville appears uncertain, it is not officially canceled. How do we know that? Okay, the show might not return for the 10th season due to cast changes. However, OWN's continued investment in the franchise leave room for possibilities. It absolutely does, including potential spinoffs or a new season with a different cast or focus. Okay, well, my take on that is, first of all, this is just my personal opinion, okay? I think OWN should snatch Melody Cherie up. Her and her her production company, and Dawn and Jay Taylor, her makeup artist, and Dawn, her other makeup artist, and anybody that's in Melody Cherie's orbit, Canavis, Miss Deborah, and everybody else that's in Melody Cherie's orbit, and create a reality show around Melody Cherie. Okay, with Melody Cherie's production company. Okay, this is just my personal opinion. Just go on and leave Kingdom Reign out of it altogether. Because from what I'm getting, I've been supporting Carlos King for a lot of years, okay? I've watched most of his reality shows, so forth and so on. And in my personal opinion, he's saying he's the king of reality. I'm going to call him the king of flops. And the reason I'm calling him the king of flops will be revealed in my future coming endeavors, okay? I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing them live or doing them like I'm doing them now from my phone, but I will be letting you know my actual and factual opinions in regards. He had 16 shows, 16 of them, or 16 shows or events. You know what I'm saying? And from what the common denominator that I'm getting from all of these shows is the drama. He likes the drama. And shit, every show has drama. I mean, even regular TV has drama. Drama is okay. But when it's continued drama, day in and day out, and now it's just becoming nasty for no reason, just because you want a person off the show, just fire the motherfucker. Excuse me, y'all, but if you don't want her on your show no more, Carlos, fire her or him. Don't be beating about the bush and pussyfooting around talking about, well, she makes the show and all that other nonsense. Fucking fire her or him. You dig? Okay, and then last but not least, my thought process is, in my Marlon Brando voice, you could have been a contender. You know, you could have been a contender. You're so busy trying to compete with Andy Cohen. And yeah, he's messy as well. But he's clean messy. You dig? He's more focused messy. He interacts with his people messy. He's involved messy. You're the type of messy that just throws it out there and then goes on a trip to New York or LA or something and just sits in a bar somewhere and have you some vegan this and a mimosa or something, and just ignore all your people. You know what I'm saying? You ignore them instead of interacting with them and finding out what their dreams are and finding out what it is that they exactly want to do or what their purpose for wanting to be on the show is. You don't know how to, what's the word I'm looking for? Build up your people and support them and root for them, for lack of a better term. You don't know how to do that. You're not their biggest cheerleader. You'll let them work for you for peanuts, but you will not cheer them on. And if you're not cheering on the people that work for you, it's never going to be successful. And that's all I got to say about that. Lo-Ryders, please get in these comments and tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about Carlos King and his no kingdom. I'm telling you, because to me, that's not a kingdom. You don't have a kingdom. You're so busy trying to compete with other kingdoms before you even built your kingdom. Just because your last name is king does not make you a king. It does not make you a monarch. Okay? You don't become a monarch in this industry until you have proven successes and proven track records of success, and not stealing other people's ideas and bringing them to fruition. Okay? Because in my opinion, alleged, and in my opinion with some actual and factual, you have stole at least 3 to 4 people's ideas and put them into reality shows, but you won't admit it. You're going to say everything is your idea. And as long as you go around lying to yourself, you're never going to be successful. And that's all I got to say. Lo-Ryders, go on and tell me what you think about this. And don't forget, stay low. And let's talk about it in the comments. Please share with your family, your friends, your enemies, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Have your people subscribe to the channel. Let me know what they think, or let them know. You know what I'm saying. Just tell everybody to get involved, okay? Because we about to be partying up in this piece as soon as I get all my gear together, okay? I gotta go send my husband out to get one more wire, and then I gotta figure out how to go live. And I'm sure you guys are gonna be helping me. So I'm not afraid. I was afraid at first, and because of my anxiety and everything, I said no, I can't do this. But you know what? I can do anything I put my mind to. Okay, I've been doing it all these years. Why am I being such a punk now about going live? So I'm going to start going live as soon as I get that little cable I need to attach to the sound box of my iPhone. And then it's on and popping. Okay? Wakanda forever. Peace. I'm out.